Hello, everybody. James Palmer here with some more writing tips for you. This time around, I have got six tips for writing fast. So I'm just going to dive right in here. The first tip, a lot of people don't think of this, is simply write shorter books. Back in the days of the pulps, novels were, 60,000 words. Today they're much longer, especially in traditional publishing, but I think with indie publishing, I think the short novel, shorter stuff, novellas, I think that's starting to come back to the fore. Nobody cares anymore reading on the Kindle how thick a paperback is or how long a book is. The next tip is write every day if you can. I know that's hard for some people. Even if you can only do 250 words. 250 words a day is pretty good over a month or a year's time. A lot of people don't want to try if they can't sit down and write, 2,000 words. And sometimes you just can't do that. Slow and steady wins the race. Tip number 3, outline. Very important. I know a lot of pantsers disagree. I've written stuff by pantsing it, and it always takes me longer. And I always end up having to go back in and fix stuff where I've written myself into a corner. So learn outlining, even if you don't write down a formal outline. Know your story structure, know your beats, have at least a general idea of where things are going, beginning, middle, and end. And your project will go a lot faster. Save the editing and research for later. It's very tempting to go back in and fix typos, transposed letters, or go research, the history of powered flight for one scene in your book. Don't do that. Resist that urge. Go back in, put notes, put some filler material in there that you can easily find later in a search and of your document, and fix that stuff in post. Writing a series, writing about the same characters, the same world, is easier. You don't have to create entire universes out of whole cloth every time. The writing goes a lot faster. You can focus more on plot. Have multiple projects going at a time. This is very important for me. Multiple projects helps keep your momentum going. Even if you get stuck, you get stalled out on a project, you can immediately switch to something else. And variety is the spice of life here. Have a novel going, a novella, a short story, a serial, whatever you're doing, marketing stuff. Just have something else you can kind of go to and use a different part of your brain, and then come back to the main project fresh and reinvigorated and ready to pound out some more words. Walter Gibson, who wrote The Shadow, had a neat trick. He had multiple typewriters with a manuscript page in it, and he would be banging along, and every time he got stuck, he'd simply slide over to the next typewriter and bang out some more on that story. I want to briefly talk about Walter Gibson and Lester Dent, who wrote the Doc Savage novels, probably the most popular hero of the hero pulps, about writing faster and how much you can get accomplished over a long period of time. Gibson told the New York Times in 1978 that he probably wrote around 29 million words over his whole lifetime. Lester Dent, who wrote Doc Savage, wrote a 60,000 word novel a month for 15 years. I did the math on that, and that works out to 720,000 words a month for a total of 10,800,000 words. Now, you don't have to write 10,800,000 words. and these guys did this full time. This was their job. This is how they paid their rent. But this shows you what's possible. And I hope you will think about what's possible. And if you ever wanted to up your writing speed, I think these tips are great. They've really helped me amp up my production over the years. And that's all I've got for you today. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this video and share it with your friends. And I will see you soon.